guys, it is me from the future and I'm here jumping in to start this video. So beginning of this video, I cannot find the clips from it. So I originally filmed a couple different recipes. I think I filmed 2 of them and I cannot find the footage. I think I accidentally deleted it. So it is jumping in with another random one. So you hear me say something like, I haven't filmed in a while, but that's because the other ones I'm missing. But anyway, this video is just me sharing some recipes and some dinner ideas that I've made. I do apologize. I hinted at this video a couple videos ago and so it was supposed to come sooner, but I do apologize that it's a little bit delayed. But these are just some recipes and some things that we cook pretty often or have tried recently. So I wanted to share some of these and I do plan on doing more of these, maybe a little bit more structured in the future. But anyway, let's get into the video. Okay, hello. It is actually the next week and I have done a terrible job at filming my dinners and stuff. But I wanted to start filming mine for tonight. So I'm actually making some buffalo wraps. I think I've only filmed 2 or 3 dinners at this point. We haven't been making that many because we've either had leftovers or we went out to eat for like Valentine's Day or like ordered out. So that's why I have not really been sharing much. But what I'm doing now is I am just cooking some chicken in a pan and I'm just like kind of cooking it in just like some basic seasonings because the main part of it will be sorry, that's probably really loud. The main part of it will definitely be the buffalo. I just diced up my chicken a little bit and I am just cooking it over some low to medium heat. And then I'm just gonna let this cook, take it out, chop it up even more fine, and then I'm going to cook some peppers and onion in here and then add everything together. That's pretty much all you do for some buffalo wrap. I'm going to have mine as a lettuce wrap, but if you're doing a tortilla, you can definitely do a tortilla, of course. But I'm not going to add any extra spices just because the buffalo sauce does add some extra, you know, spice. But normally I would do probably like a paprika, maybe some chili powder as well to give it a little bit of a kick, but I don't want it to be too spicy. And while this cooks, I'm going to cover it for a little bit and chop up my peppers and onions. I got really flustered when I went to get my camera because it was wet and I couldn't figure out why it was wet. And then I realized there was a cup up there that had spilled. I guess one of the cats knocked it down. So I was freaking out, but everything seems to be working okay right now. And like it was just like one side of it that was wet. It wasn't like the screen part. Anyway, I'm just gonna cut up some of these peppers and onions to throw in there with it. This is kind of like a copycat recipe from, not Buffalo Wild Wings, East Coast Wings, which is a local to like North Carolina. I don't know if they're in any other states. I would guess maybe South Carolina, but I don't think there's any in Virginia. But East Coast Wings is a really good wing place. That's a chain, but it's in North Carolina, and they have like the best buffalo wrap I've ever had in my entire life. But they also have like buffalo lettuce, I think they call them tacos there. I call them lettuce wraps. They do peppers and onions all in like a lettuce wrap, and it's delicious. So I'm kind of copycatting that, and we've made this before and it was really good. One thing I don't know is if I have any ranch. I think I have some. If you wanted to do a lower calorie ranch, obviously you can do that, but I do love my ranch. So the one I'm using is just store-bought, but I like to make my own. Mayonnaise, milk, and then the seasoning mix. That's it. I remember when I was younger, I used to make buttermilk ranch, and that was like before I knew how to do the easy way with like the thing you get from Costco or Sam's Club. Yeah, it's super easy and it's delicious. All right, I'm going to keep cutting this and listen to my music, and then I'll come back and show you in a little bit. Okay, the peppers and onions are cooking in the spices that were left over from where the chicken was cooking, and now I'm just kind of cutting the chicken even smaller. I like it in very, very small bite-sized pieces, so I'm just chopping it up and then adding it to a bowl. And when the peppers and onions are done, I'm going to throw it back in there and add some buffalo sauce and just kind of combine everything, and that's pretty much all you do. It's super easy. Like I said, I just cooked my chicken in some like garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, salt, pepper, just basic, and you can literally add like red hot seasoning if you wanted to, whatever seasoning you wanted to. You check on the peppers and onions, and I barely had to add any more oil because there's already some left over in here. Smelling really good. Okay, the peppers and onions are charring up nicely. Now I'm just adding the chicken, and then I'm just gonna add some buffalo sauce and stir it all together. I'm just using Sweet Baby Ray's buffalo sauce, but you can use butter and hot sauce if that's all you have. I just added that's probably like 1/4 cup. And you can always add more. This is what it looks like. And that's gonna kind of cool it down a little bit. So you're gonna wanna keep it on, I don't know, for just like a couple more minutes while that cooks down and warms back up. I'm just gonna make sure it's on low. I'm not gonna cover it. I'm just gonna kind of let it sit here and cook down. And then you just serve it however you want. You can serve it over rice. You can serve it in mac and cheese. If you want buffalo mac and cheese, you can serve it in a tortilla as like tacos, or you can serve it in like a wrap, a lettuce wrap. And that's it. It's super easy. Okay, tonight we are making stuffed poblanos for dinner, and we already started, but I forgot to share that. This is the recipe we're following. It's from Antony's cookbook, and then Chance is working on the meat right now, and I am just working on cutting up the poblanos. The recipe is really easy, and it's one of our favorites, so it's just stuffed poblanos with ground turkey. You use a little bit of tomato paste, corn, cashews, cilantro, but the store didn't have any cilantro. They were out of it. And then I think that's it. And then I didn't get sour cream because there's like a sour cream sauce you can use. I did not get any of that either. Kind of wish I did. But normally we'll just eat it with like fries or potatoes of some sort. And it's super easy to make, but I'm just kind of prepping the poblanos. And what you do is you cook them in aluminum foil, and it really makes the peppers nice and soft when they're in the oven, because we've done like stuffed bell peppers before and they never get that soft. Okay, so now Chance is assembling them. And do you want this already? Okay, essentially all you do is just take aluminum foil, put this on there, fill it with the stuff. And oh, and we mix some cheese in too already. Put them in a pan with water at the bottom, and that's what helps make the pepper nice and soft. And it's super easy, and then you bake it for about 20 minutes. Okay, they are out of the oven. I just cooked some fries in the air fryer just because it was a little bit easier than making some potatoes, and we already had some that we needed to use up. So that is what I'm going to be eating as my side. This is what they end up looking like when they're done. You can see they're steaming. Yeah, they seem to be ready, and I'll just let these sit here. But then you can also add some more cheese whenever it comes out if you want any more. And usually you add cheese and a little bit of lime juice and some sour cream on top. But like I said, we don't have sour cream, so I'm just gonna add a little bit more cheese. I'm just gonna start with one, but I'm probably gonna end up eating two. You can add the cheese and then cover it with the foil, but it's hot enough where this is gonna melt it in just probably like a minute or two. But that is dinner for tonight, and it's delicious. It's pretty low calorie. Ground turkey, you can use whatever filling you want, but I highly recommend this recipe and getting his cookbook. This is not sponsored, but it's one of our go-to recipes for sure. Hey guys, welcome back to Cooking Dinner with Melissa, or whatever we're calling this series. So the last you saw was the stuffed poblanos, which Chance did most of the work for that, bless him. But now today we are doing some, I think we're just gonna do chicken and veggies. So I'm gonna prep the veggies first, and I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna bake the chicken or if I'm going to pan sear it. I think I'm gonna bake it, so I'm gonna go ahead and preheat both my ovens actually. I can't remember what veggies I have, so I need to look and see. I think I have potatoes, and what else did I buy? I'm like drawing a blank. Oh, I have some bell peppers. Oh, I have some broccoli and some carrots. So maybe we'll do some like roasted broccoli, carrots, and then I might cut a couple peppers. And then we're going to do our chicken as well. I'm actually going to do like my normal for chicken. I don't know if I've shown how I cook my chicken on here before. Also, sorry, I was just talking over there. Why is this always open? I probably should have changed my sweater because these sleeves are a little bit droopy, but that's okay. Oh, who just scored? The US. So the last you saw was actually, let's see, today is Thursday, and the last you saw was actually Tuesday because I went to dinner with a friend last night. So I did not cook yesterday, and Chance just made some like pasta salad. So this video will be a little bit later, I think, than normal. I really should have cleaned my kitchen first and moved stuff. Let's move this out of the way. So the veggies do take the longest in the oven, so I'm just gonna go ahead and cut those up and get everything prepped. So let me bring you over here. You're right there. Hopefully it's bright enough where you can see me. I think you should be able to, but I'm just gonna cut up the broccoli, the carrots, the bell peppers, throw them in a bowl and just toss them with some seasonings. My go-to seasonings, of course, are always like garlic powder, onion powder. Sometimes I'll do like a paprika. I like to top my veggies a lot of times with like Parmesan. I'll kind of see what seasonings I have and kind of what I'm feeling. Whenever I went to the store, they barely had any fresh veggies, so fresh broccoli is so much better. And we like to steam our broccoli, like that's probably one of the easiest ways we do it, but roasting it is also so good. That's Chance's favorite way. He has never really been a broccoli fan. I grew up eating broccoli all the time, so I love broccoli. His family, I'm sure, grew up eating it. I think he just didn't like it until I started roasting it, and he likes it like that. Something that's really funny is part of Chance's adulthood has been him discovering that he actually does like things that he didn't think he liked. Like, for example, he didn't think he liked eggs. The way my aunt cooks her eggs is so good. And the first time he had hers, he was like, wait, I do like broccoli, or I do like eggs. And then same thing like with broccoli. And then with, what else? There's something else. Oh, grilled cheese. He didn't think he liked grilled cheese. And then I made him one and he was like, oh, wait, this is really good. So it's just funny how cooking things different ways, you might think you don't like something, but then someone else learned how to cook it a different way and you end up liking it. I have not found anything like that yet for me. Still not like a big pickle fan. Not to make it about me or anything. Actually, I'm just gonna leave the carrots whole because one, it's easier, and two, you can still eat them like that just fine. And for the bell peppers, I'm just kind of cutting them in half. They're the ones that come like this size. I'm just cutting them in half and then just throwing them in there. So that's my veggies. I'm gonna get my avocado oil. I need to refill my pepper desperately, but I can't stand this lid thing. So I usually get a chance to do it. So we're gonna do some salt and some pepper, then garlic powder and onion powder. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this in there, even though it's not ready. Hey Google, set a timer for 20 minutes, and then I'll just kind of check on it.
20 minutes.
All right, now I'm going to do the chicken, and I'm just going to go ahead and prep my seasonings on camera, and then everything else I'm gonna do off camera because I'm really crazy about like sanitation when it comes to my chicken. So I'm just gonna show you the seasonings, and then like I literally like take off my ring, like I'm gonna clear everything off the counter. I'll be gloved up when I'm doing my chicken. Contamination safety when it comes to cooking the chicken. So I'm going to start with some brown sugar. We're going to, this is like my go-to whenever I season chicken, or honestly, this is how I season like any meat. Like when I season my barbecue, this is how I season it. But I use some paprika, some chili powder. We have this Cece's sweet rub that is really good, and sometimes we'll use that on meat. I'm not gonna use that on my chicken today. So garlic powder and onion powder are obviously always my go-to. But I'm gonna do salt. I also need to refill my salt, and I don't think I have. Like, I think I need to buy some. And then I'm going to do paprika, and I measure with my heart. Like you can just, if you're not sure, you know, add a couple tablespoons or teaspoons of each, and then mix, taste, and then add more of whatever you think it might need. Brown sugar is the secret though to make juicy meat. Don't make a joke about that, but like legit, it really is. Sugar in general, you know, whenever you brine your meat, you typically use a sugar of some sorts, whether it's just like plain cane sugar or, you know, brown sugar. I'm gonna do a little bit more chili powder and a little bit more paprika. And then I don't think I added any garlic powder. My brain is not working. When I'm on my period, I have brain fog the whole time. Actually, I'm not sorry. It's something women go through and it's something we deal with. I'm not sorry to talk about that. But yeah, when I'm on my period, I swear my brain fog is awful. Like I just don't remember anything. Delicious. All right, so that's pretty much how I make my seasoning. And what I do for my chicken is I cut them in half and then I pound them a little bit to make them nice and thin because I like my chicken to be thin. I think it's more flavorful and it gets the seasonings more that way. And then I coat it with some olive oil on top, and then I just add this on top. And so I'm gonna do that real quick and then get it in the oven. Okay, I actually decided to cook this on the stovetop just because I think it would be a little bit quicker because the veggies are cooking a little bit faster than I expected. So I'm gonna have to take out, honestly, like some of it soon. I don't think the broccoli's cooking. I mean, the carrots aren't cooking as fast as I want them to, and the broccoli's cooking very fast. So I probably should have just started the carrots first and then added the broccoli. But alas, but this is what the chicken looks like while it's cooking. Yes, it does not all fit in this pan. I thought the pan was big enough and then I'd already committed, but essentially you just add the seasonings and stuff on both sides and then I cover it and it's just now starting to heat up. That's all you do for dinner. It's super easy. So these are what the veggies are looking like. I wish I would have made a rice or something because I thought I had a little bit more food. That's okay. And then this is what the chicken is looking like. Gonna be delicious and juicy. Hey guys, I have been absolutely slacking on my videos. So I have been showing you like some dinner ideas and stuff, and I don't know how many at this point I filmed, but there's so many that I keep forgetting to film, and I do apologize for that. But I'm making my lunch right now, and I put in my sweet potatoes in the oven like before my last couple meetings, so that way they're in there for an hour. And last night for dinner we had ground turkey for like tacos, so I'm gonna do like a ground turkey sweet potato bowl type thing, kind of. I don't know, let me show you. So I'm going to heat up this ground turkey meat, and then I just made these sweet potatoes, which I'm gonna flip over. I think they've dried long enough. Not dried, cooled. What am I saying? I apologize that my videos, you know, I do have some subscribers that I think enjoy my normally weekly videos. I do apologize that these videos have not been as consistent. I was posting 2 times a week, and then it went to 1 time a week, and now we're at like every other week. Anyway, I've been really busy with work, and then on the weekends I'm really busy, and I just feel like once I get done with work I forget to film my recipes. So this might be the last one you see this video. There might be another one, I don't know, but I do apologize. I want to be better about filming these ideas because I'm sure you guys would be interested in seeing them. But anyway, so here's my sweet potato. I did that, you know, just cooking it in the oven, and it looks so good. So I'm heating up some of this meat right now, and so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna top my sweet potato with just some cheese, some of the meat, a little bit of taco sauce, maybe a little bit of avocado lime ranch, or maybe some queso, I don't know. And then I have some rice I'm gonna eat as a side, and that is going to be my lunch. I heated up my rice, which is just, I don't even know, I think it's just like the Goya rice, and then I'm just gonna cut up my sweet potato a little bit, and then I'm going to add some of the meat on top. Whatever extra I'm just gonna throw in the bowl and eat with the rice. And then I have some spicy Mexican cheese to go on top, and then I'm just gonna add a little bit of this Taco Bell taco sauce. This is my favorite sauce ever. It's so good. No other kind compares to this stuff. I'm almost out of it. Chance bought some of the like Ortega taco sauce. That stuff is fine, but this stuff is just next level. And that is my very easy lunch. Like I said, we just made some ground turkey meat last night, and we just had like tacos and quesadillas and stuff. So now I have a perfect lunch that is delicious and low calorie, high in protein, and yeah, so I'm gonna go eat this.